there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, really gonna rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
If you shave your cooch, but not your booty hole, is that the same as a mullet?
My tongue out her ass and left. I'm on TV! Oh shit! First cops, now this? Oh.
Good morning for some of you. Good afternoon for others. I hope you guys are doing very well this beautiful morning. It's been awful weather here. Absolutely horrific. Tornadoes. Blue Eyes, it's nice to see you. Thank you for becoming the newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. Somebody saying, hi, good morning, Seth. Is Mr. Seth up in here? There he is. Good morning, Mr. Seth. I hope you are doing well. It's really good to see you up in the chat. We are back here in, back here in this beautiful weather with tornadoes and flood, flood-ridden, stuff. But anyways, of course, we see, a really not so good thing for, Team Proudfoot with this court hearing. We're going to go to the appellate court. That means they're going to have to actually prove their case, and I noticed that a lot of people on here are having meltdowns. Oh my God, she found a loophole. So a statute of when I'm supposed to appear is some type of loophole. When are they going to acknowledge that I was railroaded? They did not follow the freaking law. So none of this is even supposed to be where it's at because everybody didn't follow the stinking law. And somehow that's a loophole for Betty because they didn't give me proper timing. It's a condition precedent. You understand that? Like the statute says 5 days. If they would have given me 5 days, none of this would be happening right now because we would have made them prove their case, which we all know is full of shit. Okay? I've never threatened them. We all know we've given the hate channels the opportunity. Even Megan Fox told them to send the threats. Show her. And what did they do? They sent me whining on my computer or whining on this or whining on that. Nothing whatsoever that proves any semblance of what they're saying. The machete, let's talk about that. One of our audience members bought that for me. And because I said machete on my show, somehow that's a threat. We've said literally machete one time, and that was when whoever sent me the gift sent it to me, and I thanked them for it publicly. That was to the extent of the machete comment. Hardly a threat, right? Hardly a threat, but we all know this. We all know this. And I also find it funny that because of this horrible ruling, Christopher Proudfoot decided to do this panel hopping on drama channels, drama/hate channels, asking for no drama. Why are you on drama hate channels? Because they're not true crime. They're not true crime at all. They're drama channels for a reason. And I told you guys I don't consider it drama channels because I watched drama my entire life and I've never seen anything like this before. This is straight hate. This is all kinds of evil, nonsense over here. And, but either way, we had to listen to his words. And not only was he trying to encourage Yada to do a police report, which will absolutely go nowhere because she's in Virginia, never been to the state. There's this thing called jurisdiction. I guess that's what the hate channels will also call a loophole, right? Because the law is just a loophole, right? Nobody has to follow the law except me, right? I follow the law and I got railroaded because other people failed to follow the law. And somehow that's a loophole. So I found that funny, but I love to know that they are so up into Betty's business that it's driving them crazy. I'm glad I'm renting free space in their head for a 5th year in a row. And yes, whenever this is all said and done, you're going to find out why you do not lie under oath. That's what I will say. Wait for the conclusion before you take the victory lap. I can promise you that. So with that being said, we're going to go over to some of the statements Mr. Proudfoot has made yesterday. I found them awfully interesting, very interesting. And we're going to listen to those things. So Fat Lips is going to be debuted for the first time or one of the very few times on my channel. Little turn of the tides, but that's okay. She can keep whining over there because the law's the law and people violated Bullhorn Betty's rights. Right? Those loopholes that nobody likes unless they're in that position, right? Because if I had the opportunity to challenge those protective orders, they wouldn't even be here. Well, they might be because they might be. But it would have been a lot cleaner so the circuit court could have had it, right? But it's not. It's out of Sumner County's hands now. The statutes are very clear that it goes to the appellate court. And the appellate courts don't come here with, oh, she hurt my feelings, So I found some of the comments made, and we're going to go over those here in just a second. about some of these weird and unnecessary comments that I don't know really is going to help him in the long run. So at the end of the day, let's read. We got some shocking and breaking news information about Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot as is. Aw, thank you, Andrea. God bless you. Hi, Seth and Betty and awesome mods. Have a great day. You too, Love Bug. You too, Love Bug. I just want my son found and brought home. I need my son to be safe and protected from those that have put him in danger and possibly hurt him. I agree. And it's awfully concerning for me. And I've expressed those opinions to Seth that they've spent so much time and money. They've never spent a dime trying to help find Sebastian. But they're sure ponying up tens of thousands of dollars to take me. And I also found it pretty like a slap in Chris's face. And I think he took it as that by Tampon Tim, right? And he said something like, well, at least we know she's spending money. Do you have any idea how much money they're spending? And they haven't even gotten my bill yet. So, he's a janitor. He's a janitor. Because he can't even get a job at the Slurpee counter at a 7-Eleven. He can only clean toilets and wipe shit. There is that. But either way, let's get back to brass tacks. I found it awfully interesting with some of the statements that were made yesterday, and we're going to go over some of them. Encouraging other people to do this unlawful stuff, say that they're in fear for their life when I'm so far away, I've never even been to their state. Seems like people love to violate the purposes of orders of protection. And we're going to start exposing that very, very much. We've got Chris, Katie, his mom, his stepfather, his PI doing the same thing. Now they're trying to get this distant cousin that they've never had anything to do with, don't want anything to do with, but they want her to file a police report that might benefit them. It will absolutely go nowhere because I've never been in that state. They have literally no jurisdiction over me whatsoever. Literally whatsoever. And furthermore, I'm an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth person. Many of you guys know my standing on that. And many of you guys know that Yeda has told me not to share any private communications, yet is the first opportunity she gets when she's not. So I'm going to put out all of our text messages together so we can see, because I know that she said a lot of stuff about her own family that I've kept under wraps. And hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So please be expecting every single one of her text messages with me to be front and center on my channel. The lady is a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She's happy when people are paying attention to her. I have other things going on. So my commentary and comments to her haven't been a whole lot. And she demanded me take down a video or something like that. Nobody tells me what to do. She gets upset about it. Oh, well, not my problem. She wants to do some dirty stuff. First of all, she's telling me when she begged me to put her on to do the interview with her on my channel, she wanted everybody to know that, they know Katie did something to Sebastian. That's what she told me. She absolutely believes that she did something to Sebastian. We all heard it, right? We brought her up here. We had the interview. You're more than welcome to go see what she says. And because nobody will do what she tells them to do, she now has flipped sides and wants to attack an innocent father and side with people that she deemed horrible people, but she seems to be okay with child abuse. She seems to be okay with her entire family, or at least two members of her family that do terrible things to children. So that tells us who she is on an integrity basis, on a character basis, and on a class basis. So let's just say the trash takes itself out. She is absolutely on the right channels. She is absolutely where she deserves to be. And I can guarantee you they're going to use her up, turn her into hamburger, and spit her out. And she's going to be 10 times worse than she ever was when we were good. I don't listen to people. I do what I think is best for me because I only worry about me and what my actions are. I'm not telling other people what they can and cannot do. You know why I don't do that? because people don't tell me what I can and can't do, but I can make decisions for myself, right? If I choose not to associate with somebody, I choose not to associate with somebody. If I choose not to watch something, I choose not to watch something. And if I choose that somebody is doing something that I do not condone, I remove myself from our friendship. Period. It's just that simple for me. I'm a black and white person. Okay? Yeah, it's either right or it's wrong. I don't sit there and straddle the line. I don't sit there and try to skirt anything. It's either this way or it's that way, but it can't be both. And that's where my philosophy comes from. So I will continue to always do the right thing, regardless of what personal damage it does to me or what personal friendships it ends for me. Because at the end of the day, people that are truly my friends respect the fact that I am that black and white. People that are fair weather, they think that they can just do whatever. Okay, see ya. See ya. Right? I'm one of those people. I let go very, very easily. And when I do let go, it's done. D-O-N-E. Yada could never apologize to me. Yada could never say, I'm sorry. And if she did, I'd say, okay, great. If she wanted to be a friend again, no, ma'am. I can forgive you, but you'll never have an opportunity to do what you did to me ever again. So that's the way I am. And that's just, I've been like that my whole life. I will always be like that. People know, I mean, you guys have seen some very close mods of mine where they don't come here anymore, right? And it's because once we're done, I don't have any ill will, but we're done. We're done. So I think this is pretty interesting. And I want to read this first because I think this is important. It's from At Night Private Intelligence. I don't know if you guys have watched their page yet or have watched it over the last, 24 hours, but we're going to read it here. Let me pop it up on the big screen here. Let me just add it. Screen share. There we go. Let's read it together. Let me bring it up on the studio. Here we go. At Night Private Intelligence. I'm not going to be able to see your comments. Good afternoon, guys. We're going to make this short and as short and sweet as possible. We're at 18 minutes in, and I've got to get out of here. So let's go ahead and read this, and then we'll get over to the commentary. For immediate release, this is from April 2nd. At Night responds to baseless claims made by Chris Proudfoot regarding the $447,000 reward for missing teenager Sebastian Rogers. Hendersonville, Tennessee. At Night, in collaboration with Dog the Bounty Hunter, has issued a strong response in recent remarks made by Christopher Proudfoot and the alleged stepfather of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian vanished from the Proudfoot residence on February 25th, 2024, and that is an accurate date. Mr. Proudfoot has publicly mocked and belittled the $447,000 reward offered for credible information leading to the recovery of his missing stepson, a reward that exists because of the failures under his roof. He has called it a joke, a remark as outrageous as it is revolting. Let's be crystal clear, no pun intended, crystal clear, Chris. This reward is real, active, and growing. It's backed by Dwayne Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman, At Night, and an expanding coalition of American citizens desperate to find a child who disappeared on the Proudfoot's watch. For a man who has done nothing, and I mean nothing, to advance the search, Mr. Proudfoot has no hesitation in undermining those who have given everything to it. He and his wife, Katie Proudfoot, have refused help, rejected direct offers from Dog the Bounty Hunter, lied about their cooperation, and aligned themselves with YouTube disruptors and conspiracy proliferators rather than true investigators, volunteers, or the public. Now they insult the very people searching for their son. At-Night is actively exploring civil legal options against Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot for their defamatory conduct, willful misrepresentation, and interference with the search for Sebastian. Their repeated lies and coordinated distractions have placed legitimate efforts and the safety of the public in harm's way. If Sebastian was kidnapped, it means that a predator still lurks the streets of Sumner County. This is not merely negligent, it's dangerous. We will not tolerate it. Every dollar of this reward represents urgency, action, and the commitment of those who refuse to let a 16-year-old boy vanish without a fight. If the Proudfoots are incapable of supporting this effort, the least they can do is refrain from spreading misinformation. I don't know. I kind of feel like there's going to be some bankruptcy in the future of the Proudfoots. I mean, I don't know. It's just a prediction, a theory, some speculation on my part. But I do feel at some point bankruptcy is absolutely in their future. Remember, Betty said that first. But now getting on to this hot mess express of a case with fat lips. Guys, remember this: 3 hours, 31 minutes, and 31 seconds, because I'm pulling it from the, actually, you know what? I don't even need to. Hold on a second. I've got a better idea. Do I? No, we'll do it this way. We'll do it. It's going to take forever to upload. So we'll do it this way. If it gets a little wonky or whatever, I'll just pull it up. I've already got it pulled. I've already, captured the entire live on a back screen and a back pedal, and we'll do it a different way if need be. But we'll go through here. This is under fair use, and here it is. Oops. We're going to listen to this awful piece of trying to advise people to break the law, violate the law, lie under oath. He is a liar, but this is going to be more important. We're going to listen. I think this is going to be the most important of this entire show, is him talking about the fight with his mother. Okay? Because I want you guys I want to show you how easy it was for him to lie. Now, mind you, this is something that was well known. I'm pretty sure that law enforcement walked out of the courthouse and told them to leave, that they were fighting so bad. We literally thought somebody was going to be hit. I got to see the real Kathy Bowersox, by the way. She's an evil woman. And the good news is, not only that, my attorney got to see the whole thing too. So he kind of knows what we are up against. So at the end of the day, it was a shit show out in front while we were sitting up on the 5th floor watching it, along with every other floor. Everybody was looking out the window, watching them just go at each other's throat. And then Chris on Queen Bee's, when confronted about him fighting with his mom, he lied. He's trying to say, oh, my mom would whip my butt, but he sounded so believable. And so I definitely wanted to show you how easy and convincing Christopher Proudfoot is when he lies. And not just lies, he lied through his teeth. And Cluminati was there, and her scarecrow husband was there, and that crazy pill-popping chick, what is her name? Oh, and that purple hair lady, that fat, ugly purple hair lady that I saw. Guess who that is? That's that disgusting Aunt Melissa. Aunt Melissa Svinden? Whatever the name is. Oh, she was all up in their face screaming and stuff. She's a nasty lady too. Their whole family is dirty. They're dirt rockers. They're dirt rockers with a military background. These people are trash with a little bit of money. That's all they are. And that, you know what? That's why they have no problem hanging out with these trash people, because they are all just alike. They are all just alike, except a couple of them have a little bit more money than the rest of them. You either have broke, nasty people, or you got middle class nasty people. But either way, they're all nasty. What respectable woman, no offense, I know people like to do things with their hair, but I want to know what respectable woman that's associated with military people and Homeland Security people, sorry, but not sorry, you guys may find it offensive, but has purple hair. Do you think, and this is a fair question, and those people that have those hair colors and stuff like that don't mind them, they have jobs that don't mind them, typically. But do you think that somebody with purple hair is going to be taken seriously? I'm just asking for a friend. Do you honestly think somebody that has purple hair is going to be taken seriously? It's a big old fat no. Okay? It's a big old fat no. These are ghetto trash, backwoods people. Okay? And they nasty. They nasty, all kinds of nasty. And I mean that not like looks. I'm talking about what's inside. Okay? I want to make sure that that's very, very clear. What I'm talking about, the ugliness, how ugly they are, I'm talking about their insides, not their outsides. Not their outsides. So let's get into this. Let me find the one spot that I need to go. Give me just a second. Here it is. Here it is. We all absolutely, not only myself, the courts know, my attorney knows, all the witnesses up there on the 5th floor, 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor, the people that were recording it from across the street, they didn't even care who saw all this going on. Remember how when we heard about how Chris and Katie get into these fights on the outside of their house and the neighbors were talking about those things? You know why? Because when they're hot, their heads are hot, they don't care who's around. They're one of these people that will literally start screaming at people and don't care how the rest of the world looks at them. Like, I think that's trashy. I think it's ghetto. I think it's white trash. Okay? Which is what I think of them. I think they're white trash that likes to hurt medically needy kids. But I find it funny, and I want you to hear how convincing he was. And by the way, there is 100% evidence of this altercation or altercations, because it was everybody down each other's throat, right? You got Chris and Katie down each other's throat. Then you got Chris and Kathy down each other's throat. Then you got Katie going up there screaming at Terry Lynn. Then you got Chris's sister in Terry Lynn's face while Chris's mom's pointing her finger and screaming. And like, I want to tell you how Kathy was. Kathy was pointing, she was leaning in, and you could just see the veins coming out of this lady's neck. And I looked at all of them, including my attorney. I said, right there, that's the real Kathy Bowersox. That's exactly, did I not?
Yes. Yep.
Did I not? I said, you see that lady right there? Now that's the real Kathy Bowersox.
She stormed off.
She was, I mean, that's what it looked like. You had the whole side of her neck coming out as she's leaning over. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna hit Terry Lynn. Like you have the real Me Too there saying, I feel really bad for Terry Lynn. You know, I want to go down and make sure she's okay. And we're like, you can't. She's made her bed. She needs to lie in it. She made her bed. She needs to lie in it. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But you know what? And I looked at her, and no offense, and this may hurt some people's feelings that may like Terry Lynn, but do you ever think that anybody would ever talk to me that way? I just want to let you know. Because if I ever feared for myself, or I had that many people in my face screaming at me, there was going to be two things that happen. If I fear that somebody is about to hurt me, I'm putting them on their ass. Defending yourself doesn't mean you have to be strict, you get struck. It means that you are fear for your safety. So it would either be that, or I'd be telling them to back the F up. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever talk to me like that. And I hope Terry learns a little more self-respect, because I was honestly embarrassed for her. She didn't stick up for herself. She was like a little kitten. So Terry, get yourself some backbone. That's my constructive criticism to you, and don't you ever let anybody talk to you like that again. Ever. Ever. And that goes for the rest of you. You don't ever let somebody talk to you like that. Ever. And you damn sure don't let them get that close to you where they can do bodily damage. I'll tell you that. I put my hands up like this and say, back up. You get in my personal sphere, we got some problems. I will defend myself. I will make sure that this doesn't get touched. I was scared somebody was going to get hurt. Sorry, we're under flash flooding warnings. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Whenever you got to tap it, you should be able to tap it. Okay. So let's listen to this lie. I want you guys to listen to this. This is he lied through his teeth here, y'all. But I want you guys to understand and listen to how he was easily able to do this. I want you guys to open your ears and listen to how believable this lie was. I'll put this up. You guys can see me, so let's listen.
Question two, we got to clear this up. Did you scream and yell in your mom's face outside the courthouse?
I did say something to my mom, and once again, that is a personal thing. That is nobody's business.
But you spoke to your mom, but you did not scream at your mother. They are saying you were outside the courthouse being abusive and screaming at her. No, that's not how that went.
Well, I mean, if anybody who has a mom respects their mom and understands it, if you ever yell at your mom disrespectfully, your mom has every right to whoop your behind.
Right.
And if you don't think my mom wouldn't, you are sadly mistaken.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? He was able to, and I want you to think about that. Look how easy that was for him. Look how it rolled off his tongue. Look how he took a semblance of truth and built the entire lie on it. He's not answering the question. He's not answering the question, but he's like, yeah, I talked to my mother. There's the foundation of truth. That one statement. Yeah, he talked to his mom too. But him and his mom, he was in her. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He was in her face, screaming at her, and then when he was done screaming at his mother's veins started popping out of the side of her neck while she was screaming at Terry Lynn, and of course his sister was screaming at Terry Lynn. Miss Melissa Svinston was there. Ghetto trash, purple hair. Yeah, she was there, and all of them were ganging up on Terry Lynn. And that pill popping Crimson lady, right? She was just standing there, not even helping the woman she showed up. Can you imagine if somebody was doing that to one of my friends and I was there? I'd be like, oh, hell no. You gonna back up? You gonna back up? I bet you they were so loud that the law enforcement came out of that court and made them leave. I almost guarantee that that's the case. That's how loud they were. And it was all captured. Every last bit of it captured. So again, just FYI, he was able to make that statement that you just heard. Look how smooth he was lying about the situation. We're going to play this whole thing through.
Well, I mean, if anybody who has a mom, again, that is a personal thing. That is nobody's business.
Surely people are facing time for messing up.
Quick question, too. We got to clear this up. Did you scream and yell in your mom's face outside the courthouse?
I did say something to my mom, and once again, that is a personal thing. That is nobody's business.
But you spoke to your mom, but you did not scream at.
It's a personal thing when it's not in public, when it's done behind closed doors. But it's no longer personal when you bring your dirty laundry out to the front of a courthouse where everybody's coming and going.
Your mother there saying you were outside the courthouse being abusive and screaming at her. No, that's not how that went.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
if
it
anybody
was.
who has a mom respects their mom and understands it, if you ever yell at your mom disrespectfully, your mom has every right to whoop your boy behind. And
Right.
if you don't think my mom wouldn't, you are sadly mistaken.
No, she didn't. She looked
Right.
like she was fearful.
I mean, I'm just trying to shut down the crazy ass bullshit before it even starts. You know what I mean? Because that's
Let's
one of the
keep
rumors
listening.
they're running with. So
Let's keep listening.
Well, I
Maybe we
mean,
can
and
shut
let
that
them.
down real quick, you know?
Hey, let them run with rumors. You know, it's if me and my mom have a disagreement, that's between me and my mom. That's between nobody else. And I can promise you, my mom's got no problem busting my ass.
Taking care of
She
it,
might
right?
be.
And mom will
Yeah, I
take
mean,
care
I
of
do
it.
respect
Right.
my mama.
Oh, you know.
That's right. Moms
So-
don't play. Hey.
Well, and once again, you got people that want to go out there and say some stuff, but they don't want to state the truth,
Right.
and that's fine.
That was him. He didn't want to state the truth. He had no problem being aggressive toward his mom and screaming in her face. And she seemed like she's had him do that before. It seemed like it was just another day in the household. You know what that tells me? Is that everybody in their family are hotheads. Everybody. Everybody in their family are hotheads. What chance did Sebastian, that had special needs and was medically needy, what chance did he have in a household with all these hotheads that act like that? And when I say veins popping out of the neck, I want you guys to understand how angry Kathy Bowersox was raging. Raging. I thought she was going to hit Terry Lynn, and we were all up there watching. That's how bad it was out there. I don't want that being downplayed. Something was going on down there. I don't know what. I really don't, nor do I care. But I thought it was very interesting that he responded. And since he responded, and I know the truth, and we have umpteen witnesses that know the truth, I can now identify specifically how Chris lies. How Chris lies. And how easy it was for him to lie with a straight face on a drop of a dime and make it believable. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound well, that comes down to it, Shirley H. You know, I feel that she there's a reason why she runs to him. If you believe that they did something terrible to a child, why is she associating with them at all? Why would she associate with them at all? Because whether you feel jaded or anything by Seth or Tony or Nick or anybody, it doesn't make you change your demeanor or your focus of your case. Do you not think that I've had my feelings hurt a time or two? Of course I have. Do you think it changed how I spoke about a case or who I thought was responsible? No. So how do all these creators keep flipping sides when they get mad at Seth? Does that sound like they're in this for Sebastian? Or are they in this for their name and clout and their 15 minutes of fame? I would never, and I mean never, allow anyone to speak to me like that. You want to speak to me with respect or just speak to me or even be angry with me when you speak to me? I'm fine with that. You can do it at an arm's length distance. You get close to my face like that, we got some serious, serious problems. And for her to allow those people to treat her like that and her want to hang out with them after that or want to be part of their crew, that's weak. That is weak. That's not how you handle your business and become respected. As a matter of fact, people like me look down on people like that. And whether you guys agree with it or not, I'm just talking about feelings, right? And perspectives. Do you think I want somebody or work with somebody that has no backbone to stick up for themselves? Of course not. Because the business we're in takes thick skin. It means doing the right thing when it's not the popular thing to do. So if you're here for popularity, you're here for the wrong reasons. You're here for the wrong reasons. I'm seeing I'm having some internet issues, so I do apologize about that. If I'm not coming in very clear, we're on cheap internet. There's no other explanation for it. But I found some other comments that Chris said. I'm not going to play them. I'm going to keep those. But I found some very interesting comments that Chris says on here, and I hope you guys listen to the words he said. First of all, I was here for 3 days. I was back in Florida. They're the ones that drugged me back from Florida to Tennessee, right? I was coming here for a vigil. They're the ones that wanted me here in Tennessee. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. Now you don't get a chance to say, I wish you'd just go back to Florida. So my question is if you were so fearful of me, why would you drag me from Florida to Tennessee? And then why would you tell people on a live that you just want me to leave the case alone and quit talking about it? We haven't heard anything of Chris saying how fearful he is of me, have we? How I threatened him with his life and how I was going to come and unalive him, which is what's required with a protective order. But he keeps talking about my speech. He keeps talking about me leaving a case and not talking about it. Talking about it. That's the biggest problem of all. You can't undo the words. You can't undo the words. So while I'm going to keep this short and sweet, I love each and every one of you. I got things to do. I felt like yesterday was a win for Team Bullhorn Betty in this mess. And today, after working nonstop for the last month on trying to pull a trial together with my attorney, which has been hundreds of hours over the last month, that had to be dedicated because we had to be prepared for a full-blown trial yesterday. I'm exhausted. I'm utterly exhausted. So you know what I'm going to do today? Which I know you guys will absolutely, at least the ones that are here because you guys love me and you care for me, is I'm going to take the day. I'm taking the day. I'll be back here tonight to do some additional paperwork, which I've got to turn in, for the case up in Illinois. But I'm taking the day. I don't know where we're going or what we're going to do, but I'm taking the day, and I have not taken a day off in probably a year and a half to 2 years. And so today I'm going out and I'm going to have some fun. But before we do, just to make sure, fully transparent, you'll never believe where we went.
That's what Sonya just told me. So. I don't care. Yeah. That's exactly what I said.
Probably a threat. Well, we'll keep it off until we get past this. Aww. Karen's such a safe driver, by the way. What we got here? So everybody, I now, because I was here, you know me, I'm an investigator. I investigate everything. I fact find everything. There's been, by the way, the Texas Roadhouse, it was hard to hear in there. They have the music a little louder than, because I'm deaf in one ear. So when there's too much background noise, it makes it hard for me to hear. But they do this little dance, and a song comes on, and they get in the middle, and they do this little, I don't know, dance, and we're like, it was kind of cool. I'm like, okay, I get the vibe up in here. But I didn't talk to anybody about nothing, but I was there, and me, I'm creeping, right? So I'm going to the bathroom, looking out where all the cameras are. My best friend needs to call, so she calls me, so I have to, walk out the front doors, and while I'm on the phone, you know me, You know me, I'm just paying attention to all of my surroundings, right? I'm just, okay, we got a camera there, we got a camera there. You know, identifying everything, right? Footloose song. Oh, it was the Footloose song. It was Footloose. That's right. It was so cool. They did this little dance in the middle of the, you know, I tipped well. You know, I tipped more than 25% for the bill. I enjoyed my time there. I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed my time there, and they had great food. They had great food. The shrimp were great. You know, we had a shrimp appetizer. We had steak. I had prime rib. She had a New York strip. We had a great time. I got to be honest with you. Does line dancing up there though, the Owls, happy birthday, it's a fun place. Yeah, but I didn't know. I've never been to a Texas Roadhouse before, so I had no idea. And so it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. I see what the attraction to the place is. Great vibe, you know, reasonably priced, you know, reasonably priced steaks. I mean, the steaks were priced excellent, $23 to $28, depending on what prime rib you want, a 12, 14 ounce, or, you know, pound. Even the pound was only like 20, it was under $30 for prime rib. It was perfect. And so long story short, you know, there's been a lot of conversations about the green hoodie person. I finally get it. I finally get why law enforcement didn't really find the whole walking through bushes thing an issue. Okay, all those cars lined up. I finally realized we're missing a lot of the footage that wasn't, you know, pertaining to Sebastian. So we've got the footage that has Sebastian all in it, but the interesting part is that the reason why people park behind that little shrubbery is because there's a huge building there. Okay, and then you got like New York Pizza on one end. And even though there's a business there, it looks like it must be one of those businesses that closed down at 5, or maybe it's not vacant. And so they park there because it's closer to the front door. That place is packed, okay? It seems like that place is jammed packed almost every night of the week. So people park out in the parking lot, but the parking lot gets full. So you get further and further and further back in their parking lot. So what people do is they drive into that area, that little plaza, and they park there because it's closer for them to the front door. So they're not having to park out in the field. It's not a literal field. It's a concrete parking lot, but I'm calling it a field because it's a parking lot that goes for a while, you know? And that's the reason I truly believe that they were over there. Then I'm starting to get it. And this is what I think happened. I don't know this for a fact, but now I'm starting to really kind of get the vibe of what was going on there. And I truly believe that green shirt, green hoodie lady may have been a homeless lady. And I think she was doing something next to Katie's car. One of two things. She was either under the influence and trying to pee and got caught, or she crouched down between the two cars to utilize substances, or something of a common combination of that. And I think Katie walked up on her, and I think that it was like, yo, what are you doing? Type of thing, because we saw people's heads kind of turn. And we watched this lady go into the bathroom and then leave. So I'm starting to think that it must be something around there. And you guys know, I kind of feel like this, like I believe in, you know, subliminal signs, right? I believe in these subliminal signs that we get. So I'm pondering what theories we could have about this lady. If she's unconnected to Sebastian, and we take law enforcement at face value and their words, and we heard Seth talk about, he saw the body camera. He knows this lady has nothing to do with the case. So we have to take that into consideration. We've got the father of this child, which would not deceive us when it comes to information about his son, especially if he thinks it's going to be relevant. So we have him saying that. So I trust his assessment that this lady has nothing to do with it. So now I've got to try to come up with some reasonable scenarios of what she could have possibly been doing there. And those were the scenarios that make sense to me. And I tell you about these subliminal messages. And so today when I was on my Google, just, you know, because as you guys heard, the notice ringing off on my phone, right? And we have, we're under a flood advisory, a tornado watch, all this other stuff here. It's nasty weather where we're at. I was worried about losing power, losing everything. Our sirens were going off for tornado warning at like 2:00 this morning.
Yeah.
About 2:00 this morning. And so there was something that was posted today on Google. And I think this is kind of because I was theorizing this, and you'll hear it. I was theorizing this a while ago, not today, not after this article. And this article comes up, and I believe it's that subliminal sign that says I'm on the right track. Here's what it says. Hendersonville, Tennessee officials are looking for ways to target aggressive panhandling and shopping cart thefts. It is reportedly part of a large conversation on making sure homelessness does not become a problem in the city. City leaders have not voted on any new laws regarding these issues, saying they are working through the exact logics of how these laws would look. Our mayor, Jamie Clary, made it clear, however, they want to get ahead of people coming to their city that are dependent on handouts, as he put it. So you have the insiders and the outsiders still alive and well in Hendersonville, right? They don't want people coming to their city that depend on handouts. They don't want them kind of people there, right? In our county, we take our homeless population and we treat them like human beings in our county. And we actually know that our homeless population is part of our community. And we do have to address it, but we do not address it by condemning the homeless population first and foremost. So if that just tells you the overall vibe of this area, they very well have the have and have nots here. And our city officials look down on homeless people, not the fact that, hey, why are they homeless? Is it substance abuse? Is it something we can help them with, right? They just want to get ahead of making sure, and I guarantee this is the kind of crap we're going to see at this city, mark my words. They're probably a city that wants to arrest their homeless population. In my county, me and a lot of the people I work with fight our sheriff against arresting people because we don't believe homelessness is a crime. Okay? We believe politicians that are not good stewards of funding, right, are the problem. What can you do to the homeless population in communities? There's a lot of things you can do. You can bring in resources because a lot of those homeless people, they're veterans. They're veterans that are really messed up from the crap that they had to live through. The people that gave us our freedoms of speech, right? Our Bill of Rights that protect them. Most of these people on the streets, not all of them, are out there because they have scars on the inside that we don't see. So my thing would be, instead of condemning the homeless population, maybe the politicians should get out there and learn who they are. Treat them like human beings. That would be my first step. Because when you understand what problems you can have meaningful resolutions to fix those problems. Because a lot of the reasons why there are just some people that wants to live off live under the radar. Some people want to be homeless. Believe it or not, there are people I know because I've gotten out there with my own homeless people. And there are some that have substance abuse and alcohol abuse. And they want to get clean, but there's no resources to get clean. There's no programs outside of a 30-day program, which we all know is not enough. So my first suggestion for a community is, one, learn your homeless population, learn who they are. Instead of degrading them, maybe uplift them. There's a huge shortage of resources for rehab facilities to get these people where they need to go and on the right foot. So I always, as part of my speech, always recommend for any community that's suffering with a lot of homelessness is have more resources. Start partnering with people that have rehabs that can bring rehab centers in. Those rehab centers are typically funded by federal grants, state grants, local grants, and obviously the money that they generate from Medicaid, Medicare, and other VA benefits for stuff. there can be a public-private partnership with some of these things to help with their homelessness. But not to get off, I know I'm going on a tangent here with the homeless thing because I advocate for homeless people in my community. But it's because of me having this conversation about what that person would be doing from walking over there and then seeing this article about this uptick in homelessness. I really am starting to feel like this green hoodie lady might actually be a homeless person that was there, maybe not doing what she should have been doing. She could have been reaching down. She could have been picking up money. She could have been, using the bathroom or attempting to use the bathroom. And Katie's like, there's a restaurant right there. Go there and get. We don't know. But I think that there's this green hoodie, now that I've got a lay of that land over there at the Texas Roadhouse, which you would think, well, weren't you already there? No, I really didn't drive around the Texas Roadhouse. I didn't see the front. I didn't even know where the front was when we got there. I mean, I had to drive in a freaking circle. So it's like, there's a lot of different nuances with it, but I truly believe, because now that I saw this article, I feel like it's that subliminal message that I'm on the right track. I could be not on the right track, but that's kind of where I'm starting to lean with the green hoodie lady. And the whole thing between the bushes, now that I see it, it's really not sus at all. I'm just saying, it's not sus at all. And some of those cars that we were seeing wasn't coming from behind the shrubbery. There's a spot that it's still in the parking lot, but there's a clear view to the main road. So a lot of those little things, the lights that you're seeing moving, are actually not people walking. They're actually reflections from the light hitting the building from the main road. So it really did clarify, and I did drive to that part. So let me just show you that real quick. Okay, here it is. We're going into it.
So, yeah, right there in the and we kept seeing people go here and people parking along the line. Now we understand why there were so many cars this way, because this place is always packed. And so the closest place to come, and it doesn't look like anybody's here. So you know what people did? Everybody's thinking it's so sus about them walking through here. Yeah. But the reason why they're parking here is because it's closer to the front door. Yep. Yeah, and they walk through. Yeah, hold on, let me get this. This is why, right there. This place is a freaking madhouse, and that's why people are parking over here. It's not because of sus, people being sus. It's just because people are just lazy. They want to be closer. And quite frankly, had we known, I would have parked here, right? Yeah. And just walked over there. So I would have been one of those people that just came through the bushes. But now I understand what's over here. And I think this kind of explains why law enforcement really doesn't really think anything suspicious about that, because people do that all the time. Right. So the action. Now, is that green hoodie person? Well, actually, it was a woman. Yeah, she cut from over here. Let's go. You know what? Let me turn back around. Is she really dead? I'm just saying. You're asking the wrong person, babe. Some people. I want to go that way. I want to go on that side over there. I want to see what's over here. Because I have to imagine when they were here, the pizza place was open, but look how dead it is right here. Yeah, let me get this on so my ding, 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 ding. Shut up. So let me see, because that lady, you know what I think was going on?
There it is.
I don't know if it's true or not. I think that lady was either squatting between the vehicles to either pee, and she caught her. Yeah. Or to do drugs. Between Katie's time? Yeah. And maybe she stopped her, like, what the fuck what are you doing? Right there out in the opening with the cameras? Are you kidding me? Homeless people do it all the time. Oh, she's home, yeah. We don't know she's homeless. She looked pretty homely.
I mean, if we looked at the video, and I've looked at it, she could be. I don't want to be disrespectful, but she could be kind of earnest. She used the restroom, but yeah, I know she used the restroom inside the restaurant, but it wasn't until after the conversation with Katie. So did she go into the bathroom and utilize substances, or because we all saw her go into the restroom and come out of the restroom. So is that what it could be? I don't know. But I'm finally starting to see why law enforcement is not really thinking it's as sus as we think, because I can explain why people were over there and why people were crossing through. And again, like I said in that video, I mean, if I had known that's why people parked, I would have parked over there. All right, guys, let me go through these things. Blue Eyes, thank you so much. Welcome aboard again. We've got Andrea. Hi, Seth, Betty, awesome mods. Have a great day. We got our beautiful Outer Banks, and we already answered that. No, he's a toilet scrubber, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to dock or disrespect. I mean, an honest job is an honest job, but it is what it is. All I'm saying is I wouldn't be making fun of other people's jobs. That's all I'm saying. Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Thank you, Melanie. And the person that received the gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Melanie, thank you, and welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard our beautiful Outer Banks. If able, we should donate. Thank you so much. Absolutely. I've just been socking as much away as I can do because we've got a big fight on our hands and we're going to move forward. And now that I understand where I'm sitting, I'm a very happy camper. So we're moving forward. Kazikli, I keep feeling like I butcher your name and I'm so sorry. And it says we stand with BHB, Mama's World, find Sebastian Rogers. May God bless you all. Thank you so much. Oh, beautiful Brenda. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Amos Liz, oh my gosh, it's nice to see you, love bug. Have an enjoyable day off today. Well, it's not going to be a full day off. It's just going to be a few hours just to kind of shake the ick, and then clear the mind. I still got a lot of work I've got to do. This whole trial and preparation of it really put me behind schedule a lot. So I've got to try to, fix the scheduling issue and get things done. Lady for Justice, glad you're home safe and sound. I wish I was home, but I'm not. We're still here in tornado-ridden Tennessee right now with flood, and quite frankly, I may not be going back home because I got to turn around and be back here in 2 weeks, and I've already kind of made plans not to be at the house. I've got so much stuff. I've got attorneys to meet with. For meetings and stuff like that. It's just, for me, it is a logistical nightmare the way they've got this all set up here, and I keep hearing people saying that the 16th is canceled. I don't know where they're hearing that, because the last time I heard it was still going forward. So, and until I hear otherwise from my attorney, it's got to be prepared as it's going forward on the 16th. And so, I feel much better now that I've talked to some people. We still have a lot of preparation on that end. I've just done the preparation for the civil side. Now we got to get working on the criminal side, because I got 2 weeks before a trial for the criminal side. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff. So once I talk to the attorney, hopefully it'll be today. It'll be more clear, what we're up against and where I am with this next step on the 16th. So that's as much as I can comment right now, because that's where we're at. So anyways, but guys, I just want to thank you. I've got to get out of here. I wasn't even meaning to be on here for an hour, and I'll see you guys. I don't know if I'll be back tonight or not, or it'll be tomorrow, but we'll play it by ear. If we have some new information, I'll play it. If somebody wants to, I forgot what I was going to say. I was getting started on something. So anyways, guys, I need to go get some real coffee. I've been drinking hotel coffee. It's aight, but it's not what I'm typically used to. So I want you guys to pay attention on the replay crew, just how easy it was for Chris to make up a lie on the drop of a dime. That is critically important. And we're going to use that for some talking points moving forward, because I'm telling you what we saw. And I'm telling you what he just described. He lied through his ever-loving teeth. And the worst part about it is they knew they were outside of a freaking courthouse where people were walking in and out of that courthouse, knowing damn well all these people, not just us there, all of these people were seeing that nonsense go on. And he comes up on the panel and lies. It is, pay attention. This guy is very skillful. Is very, very skillful. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.